My name is Lily, and before you decide this is just another story you'll scroll past, I need you to hear something first.
I didn't think stories like this were real either. I'm 15 years old. Or, I was 15. This isn't a metaphor, this isn't a dream. And I'm not here to scare you, I'm here because I died. And I came back with something you need to know. If you're watching this late at night, if your phone is the only light in your room, if your chest feels tight for no clear reason, this story is already about you. I grew up like everyone else. School, friends, homework. I wasn't bullied. I wasn't abused. Nothing terrible happened to me. That's what made it confusing. On the outside, my life looked fine. Good grades, normal family. I laughed in photos. I posted smiling selfies. But inside, something was always buzzing. Not sadness, not exactly fear, pressure. Like I was always late for something I couldn't see. Every morning I woke up tired. Not didn't sleep enough tired, soul tired. Before my feet touched the floor, my hand reached for my phone. Facebook first. Always Facebook. Notifications felt like oxygen. Likes felt like proof I existed. If a post did well, I felt lighter for a few minutes. If it didn't, something heavy settled in my chest. I told myself it didn't matter. Everyone says that. But my body knew better. Scrolling never made me happy. It just made the noise quieter. For a second. Then louder. I compared everything. My face, my body, my life. Girls who looked older. Lives that looked easier. I followed pages that scared me. News, arguments, comment wars. People tearing each other apart for entertainment. I didn't even notice when it became normal. At night, when everything finally went quiet, my heart would start racing. Doctors called it anxiety. Teachers called it stress. My friends called it just being Gen Z. So I accepted it. I thought feeling like this was the price of living in the world now. The night I died didn't feel special. I was in my room, lights off, phone glowing blue against the ceiling. I was lying on my back, scrolling without thinking. Post, scroll, like, scroll. My chest started to feel heavy. I ignored it. It got worse. Not sharp pain, just wrong. I sat up slowly, holding my breath. My heart skipped once, then again. Then it stopped skipping and started running. Not fast, panicked. I put my phone down, picked it up again. Facebook refreshed. And then something inside me snapped. My fingers went numb, my vision blurred. The room felt far away, like I was underwater. I remember thinking, this is embarrassing. I didn't want to wake my mom. I didn't want to overreact. My phone buzzed. I never saw what it said. The screen slid out of my hand and hit the floor. I tried to breathe. The air wouldn't go in. The pressure in my chest collapsed inward, like a building falling on itself. The last thought I had was simple. I'm too young for this. And then, silence. Not darkness. Silence. The kind you don't realize you've never had until it surrounds you. The noise in my head shut off instantly. No thoughts, no fear, just stillness. I stood up. That's when I saw myself. I was standing next to my bed. That didn't make sense at first. I remember looking down and seeing a girl lying there, half turned on her side. Her hair was tangled in the pillow. Her lips were slightly open, like she was about to say something, but never did. It took a few seconds for the realization to hit. That girl was me. I wasn't scared. That's the part people don't believe. You'd think seeing your own body would be terrifying, but it wasn't. It felt distant, like looking at an old photo. The pressure was gone. The noise was gone. I felt light. Then I heard footsteps. My bedroom door flew open. Lily! My mom. She rushed in, already panicking, like she knew before she knew. She turned on the light. She saw me on the bed. The sound she made didn't sound human. She ran to me, shaking my shoulders, calling my name over and over. Her hands were trembling so badly she could barely hold her phone. I wanted to tell her I was okay. I tried to speak. Nothing happened. I reached for her arm. My hand passed straight through her. It felt like moving through smoke. That's when it hit me. She couldn't see me. She couldn't hear me. I wasn't there anymore. I backed away, heart suddenly pounding again, except it wasn't my heart. The room felt wrong, too small. The walls started to blur at the edges like wet paint. I felt a pull, not violent, not scary, certain. The ceiling dissolved above me. I didn't fly upward. I drifted. Like gravity had changed its mind. I passed through the roof, through the night air, through the quiet neighborhood. Everything looked frozen. Streetlights glowing, a car parked halfway down the block, someone's TV flickering through a window. Life was still happening, just not with me. Then the world faded, not into darkness, into gray. A thick, endless gray mist surrounded me. There was no ground, no sky, just space and silence. Then the silence changed. It became heavy, not in a bad way, in a grounding way, like when someone puts a weighted blanket over you and your body finally relaxes. The gray began to glow, soft at first, then brighter. The light wasn't blinding. It was warm, alive. And from that light, someone stepped forward. I didn't need to be told who he was. Every part of me knew. Jesus. He didn't look like pictures. No halo, no glowing beard. He looked real in a way nothing on earth ever had. Like everything else I'd known was low resolution, and he was suddenly clear. He wasn't wearing clothes the way we wear clothes. Light moved around him like fabric made of sunrise. Gold, deep amber, hints of red. It flowed, constantly shifting. When he looked at me, I felt it physically. Not judgment, stability. Like standing on solid ground after years of swaying. I hadn't realized how unsteady I'd been until that moment. "You're tired," he said. His voice didn't come from one place. It came from everywhere. It vibrated through me. "I know," I whispered. My knees gave out. I fell, not because I had to, but because my body couldn't hold the relief. For the first time in my life, my mind was quiet. No comparisons, no scrolling urge, no tight chest, just peace. Real peace. He knelt in front of me, so we were eye level. "You carried more than you were meant to," he said gently. Tears streamed down my face, but they weren't sad. They were release. "I couldn't make it stop," I said. "It was always loud." He nodded. "I know the noise," he said, "and I know where it comes from." He stood and held out his hand. "Come," he said. "Let me show you." The light around us shifted. The gray dissolved. And suddenly, we were looking down at the world. We were above the earth. Not like astronauts see it. No blue marble, no beauty shots. It looked dim, like the lights had been turned down. I saw cities first, then neighborhoods, then individual rooms, millions of them. And inside those rooms were people, scrolling. The closer I looked, the worse it got. A thick structure hovered over the planet. At first glance, it looked familiar, comforting even. Soft blue tones, clean edges, Facebook. But this wasn't the app I knew. Underneath the surface, it was alive. A massive web stretched across cities, towns, schools, bedrooms. Not delicate like a spider web. Thick, oily, sticky. Cables poured out of it by the thousands. They latched onto people. Not their hands, their chests, their necks, the backs of their heads. I felt sick. I saw a girl my age sitting on her bed, scrolling through photos. A cable wrapped gently around her heart. Every time she saw someone prettier, it tightened. I saw a boy laughing at memes, pretending everything was fine. A cable fed straight into his thoughts, whispering doubt between jokes. Groups of friends sat together at lunch tables, all on their phones, all connected, but not to each other. "What is this?" I asked. Jesus' expression was calm, but heavy. "This is manufactured connection," he said. "It looks like community, but it feeds on isolation." I watched notifications light up. Every like sent a warm pulse through the cables. Every ignored post sent a cold one. Addiction disguised as affirmation. They come here to be seen, Jesus continued, but they leave feeling invisible. I noticed something else then. Movement. Small shadows crawled along the cables. They were fast, restless. They leaned close to people's ears. I could hear the whispers. You're falling behind. They're happier than you. You should be more. You're not enough. The people reacted instantly. Shoulders slumped, breaths shortened, thumbs scrolled faster. They think these thoughts are their own, Jesus said quietly. That is the danger. I watched as arguments erupted in comment sections. Anger fed the web faster than joy ever could. Outrage made the cables throb. This platform was not built for peace, he said. It was built for attention. The scene shifted. We zoomed in on one room. Mine. I saw myself lying on my bed earlier that night. Phone inches from my face. Eyes empty. A cable ran from the screen into my chest. It wasn't choking me. It was draining me. I didn't know, I whispered. You weren't meant to, Jesus said. Children should not carry the weight of the world. The world zoomed out again. I saw millions of girls like me. Sensitive, creative, deep feeling. This generation feels more because it was designed to hear more, he said. But noise has been placed where my voice should be. I felt ashamed. I thought something was wrong with me. Jesus turned to me. There is nothing wrong with you, he said firmly. There is something wrong with what you're feeding your mind. The web pulsed again. This system survives on comparison, he said. If it ever goes quiet, it starves. I watched someone put their phone down, just one person. The cable loosened. Light flickered through the crack. Hope. Jesus placed his hand on my back. Come, he said. There's something else you need to see. The world folded inward. The web vanished. And suddenly, we were standing somewhere new. We were standing in a garden. At least, it was supposed to be a garden. The ground was cracked and dry. Weeds grew everywhere, tall, sharp, tangled. Broken pieces of things were scattered across the dirt. Screens, words, images. I recognized them instantly. This is your mind, Jesus said. I felt exposed, ashamed. I tried, I said quietly. I really tried to be okay. He knelt and picked something up from the ground. A comment, something someone had written years ago about my face. Something I told myself I didn't care about. You kept this, he said gently. He picked up another thing, a twisted vine. This is the fear of being left behind. I looked around and realized the truth. I had been watering all of it, every scroll, every comparison, every late night feeding my eyes things my heart couldn't carry. You were consuming noise, Jesus said, and wondering why you had no peace. I broke. I don't know how to stop, I cried. It's everywhere. He stood. You don't defeat noise with effort, he said. You defeat it with presence. He lifted his hand. Rain began to fall. Not water. Light. Golden, warm, living light poured from above. The moment it touched the ground, the weeds withered. The cracks closed. Green burst through the soil. Flowers bloomed instantly. Deep blues, purples, reds. The air smelled like honey and something clean. This is what happens when you make space for me, Jesus said. 10 minutes of silence can heal 10 years of noise. I didn't want to leave. I want to stay, I whispered. It's quiet here. He looked at me with love so deep it hurt. They need you, he said. The garden faded. The web returned. Millions still tangled. They think this pain is normal, he said. They think they are broken. A pull grabbed my chest. Strong, unavoidable. I'm not strong enough, I said. Jesus smiled. You're right, he said softly. But I am. He leaned forward and touched my forehead. Take the silence with you, he said. Carry it into the noise. The world collapsed. Pain slammed into my chest. Air burned my lungs. Voices shouted. Hands pressed down hard. My body jerked violently. I gasped. Later, they told me my heart had stopped for almost 2 minutes. They called it stress. They called it anxiety. They didn't call it what it was. I woke up in a hospital bed, Lights too bright, sounds too loud. But something was different. The noise was gone. I deleted Facebook a week later, not because it was evil, but because I finally understood. Connection without presence is a lie. If you're watching this right now, phone in your hand, chest tight, mind racing, listen to me. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are overwhelmed. Put the phone down. Sit in the silence. That's where he still waits. My name is Lily. I died at 15. I came back with peace. And that peace is available to you, right now.